Here's 6 reasons why you should get SpaceX Starlink. Let's go check them out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time today. We have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination. Love that bergamot. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. If you already watched my video about why you shouldn't pick up SpaceX Starlink, thank you. If you want to see that video, maybe I'll stick it over here. I'm glad you watched it. Well, now we're going to be talking about why you should. And this is very important because people talk about all of the negatives and sometimes they don't bring up the positives. And then of course you have other channels that's all they do is give you positives and that is it. Well, I like to be unbiased and give you all of my information that I have gleaned over the last 28 months of using SpaceX Starlink and give you the good and the bad and everything in between. So I hope you appreciate that. Before we get into all this, I just want to say that if you enjoy the content, even the least, throw it a thumbs up. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are, thank you very much. Click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. If you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button. Click on that. Give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And if you have not downloaded any of my ebooks, they're free. Go pick them up. Check them out over at JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. And if you want more Starlink content, when you're done watching this video, click over here. I put together a playlist of over 240 videos, helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, everything to buy, not to buy, and of course the why. This channel has always been about the why, and it will continue being about the why, not just the how. Anyways, now that all the housekeeping is done, let's get right into the reasons why you should purchase SpaceX Starlink now, like today. Number 1, rural communities. If you live in a rural community or you're in the woods somewhere or you're not in the suburbs, or even if you're in the suburbs but you don't get any type of high-speed internet, well, SpaceX Starlink has bridged that digital divide, the divide between the haves and have-nots, the haves of high-speed internet and the have-nots. And I was a have-not for 20 plus years until SpaceX Starlink. That's why I talk about it a lot, because it has definitely improved my family's lives, including mine and my business that uses internet all the time. So if you're in a rural community, SpaceX Starlink is by far the best non-terrestrial internet out there. You have Viasat, you have HughesNet, complete garbage. Don't even look at them at all. And if you have them, when your contract is over, just go to Starlink. All right? Trust me on this. You will thank me later. I promise you. The next thing is high speed. Well, you're going to get high speed with SpaceX Starlink, faster speeds than you do with HughesNet or Viasat. Maybe not as fast as fiber or some cable providers, but you're going to get still extremely quick speeds. I'm getting right around 160 to about 250 megabits down and anywhere between 12 and about 20 to 22 megabits up. That is not bad. Once again, is it as good as fiber or cable? No. And I should have said this at the very beginning of the video. If you can get fiber or cable at your location, if you're in a rural location or suburb somewhere, get it. Just shut this video off, right? You don't need it. Cable or fiber especially, you really do not need SpaceX Starlink unless you want to use it as a redundant or a backup internet, like what I would do. Anyways, moving on. Speaking about latency. Latency is a big thing that people don't talk about. What is the milliseconds or what is your ping? Latency is everything. Even though you're getting extremely fast speeds, and now according to HughesNet, you can get really fast speeds with them, there's still a data cap and there's extremely high latency. How high? Well, to give you an idea, fiber optic will give you a latency of about 1 milliseconds to about 10 milliseconds. SpaceX Starlink gives you about, let's say, 40 milliseconds to about 60 milliseconds. I've been seeing in the 30s and sometimes in the upper 20s. It's rare, but it's going to eventually get there. Elon Musk said that they're going to try to get sub 20 milliseconds. That's really good. That's closer to cable, closer to fiber at that point, and you're getting service non-terrestrially from a satellite, which is absurd, but that's what they're working on. Now, conversely, you have HughesNet and Viasat. You're going to end up seeing about 600 to 1,000 milliseconds of latency. You could think about latency or milliseconds of latency like the old game Pong, where you see the ball and you would knock it from one side to another side. Ping, pong, ping, pong. It's the amount of time that it takes data to get to its destination and the destination to say, hey, we got it. And it sends that back. So it's like an acknowledgement packet. That is your ping. How long does that take? Once again, with Viasat or HughesNet, that ping pong takes approximately 600 to 1,000 milliseconds. 1,000 milliseconds is a full second. So it's extremely slow. Whereas that ping pong with Starlink only takes, let's say, 40 milliseconds. It's a major difference. So you're going to be able to watch TV, you're going to be able to stream, you're going to be able to make phone calls, you can play video games, first-person shooters, But if you're playing any type of MMOs, maybe Diablo or World of Warcraft or Guild Wars or something like that, no problem at all. Now, it's going to get better once again if we see that sub 20 milliseconds. Even first-person shooters at that point will be able to be played, and you're not going to end up dead as quickly as you would now with a 60 millisecond ping, whereas the guy that you're competing with has a 1 millisecond ping. He's going to shoot you, and you're not even going to know that you were dead. And he's going to be like, I wonder why. Did he see me? Anyways, moving on. Data caps. If you use HughesNet or Viasat, you're going to get a data cap. Maybe it's 200 gigabytes per month or whatever it is. Once you hit that data cap, they're going to slow you down unless you pay for extra, let's say, priority service. Well, SpaceX Starlink doesn't do that. They were going to, and they got a ton of blowback. People got pissed, and they said, you know what? We're not going to do it. So there's no data cap. Basically, SpaceX Starlink is an all-you-can-eat internet service provider. You can download as much as you want, upload as much as you want, and there is no restriction in doing so. That is amazing. You're definitely not going to get that with any other satellite service provider. Now, reliability. Reliability is a major issue. And a lot of people are like, is satellite going to be reliable? And come to find out, it actually is. And in a lot of instances, it's even more reliable than what we see with terrestrial service, like cable and fiber. Well, why is that? I'm glad you asked. Think about this. SpaceX Starlink has 6,000 operational satellites that form a mesh network around the entire Earth. Well, if one goes down, does it matter? Not really. If 100 go down, does it matter? Not really. Whereas if you're using HughesNet or Viasat that only have 1 or 2 satellites, if that satellite goes down, what happens? You're SOL. Now, also this holds true with fiber or even cable. If they go down because of a power outage, of a hurricane, some type of tornado, some type of problem like that, you're going to be out. Whereas with SpaceX Starlink, you won't. Now, some people will be like, well, it still requires a ground station and a POP and a point of presence. How about if that ground station goes down? Or how about if that point of presence goes down? Will it matter? And the answer to that is not really anymore. Why? Because the data is being sent throughout that entire mesh. So instead of sending the data back to your ground station, when that ground station goes down, SpaceX Starlink can reroute your data at the speed of light in a vacuum through lasers from satellite to satellite to satellite to satellite down to a different ground station, and you will still have service. That's why so many places are using SpaceX Starlink for disaster recovery. Because even when there's major problems, you can still get internet. You can get internet at the top of a mountain. You can get internet anywhere. And that brings me to my next point, global coverage. It doesn't matter where you are, you can take your SpaceX Starlink anywhere on the planet for the most part, as long as you can use it in that specific country. But you can take it to the top of Mount Everest, and guess what? You can get full high-speed internet access. You could be in Alaska, you could be in the Antarctic, and you're still going to get high-speed internet access. And you're only going to have to spend about $80 extra per month. So instead of $120, you're going to spend $200 per month, and you can take that dish and move it anywhere you want on the planet. Once again, for the most part. That is unbelievable. There's no other service like that. There's nothing to even compare that to. Now, quick deployment. So many times we have to wait, and it takes a while to actually get your service installed. Whereas SpaceX Starlink, they send you a kit. You literally hook up the kit with like 2 wires. You need power and the 1 power over Ethernet cable that goes to the dish, and you're pretty much golden. And it will automatically pick up the signal from the satellites. You'll have to adjust it a little bit, and you are done. Now you have access immediately, that quick. Now, of course, if you have to put it at the top of a 120-foot tree, or maybe the gables at the very top of your roof, you might need to hire someone or whatever, wherever you want to mount the dish. But for the most part, you're going to be able to get access immediately. That is amazing. Now, coming full circle, back to the beginning, would I recommend SpaceX Starlink? I gave you all the positives, and in the last video, I gave you the negatives. Would I recommend it after using it for 28, 29 months now? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. If you live in a rural community somewhere, or if you're in the suburbs and you do not have high-speed internet, you have some type of AT&T DSL crap or UVerse or some other slow internet, this is going to be life-changing. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. I stick to it. This is absolutely by far the best non-terrestrial access to the internet anywhere. You could once again use it at your residence, you can use it at your business, and then if you want to pay a little extra, you can take it anywhere on the planet with you. There is no other service like it, period. Now, bear in mind, I am not a shill for this company. I do not get paid by this company. I have never received $1 from Elon Musk or any of his companies, not even a thank you. And I've probably sold a hellish ton of SpaceX Starlinks on this channel over the last 200, close to 250 videos now. But I'm telling you the honest truth. Like I said in the video prior with all of the negatives, today we're giving you the positives. And hopefully this helps you make an educated decision if this is something that you want to try. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you appreciate it. If you have, throw the video a thumbs up like I said before. Give $1 or $2 if you like, and all of those things, yada, yada, yada. Head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the many years. Don't forget my merch as well as my tees. Pick something up. That would be fantastic. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy. Once again, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.